To the pre-show before the free show.
You look like you live in a void.
Ooh, the void.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show for the free show. I'm Greg. That's Ashley. Do you ever feel like there's two, like the
like
new...
a plastic bag drifting through the wind? It's funny because it's obviously a Katy Perry song reference, but I'm actually referring... Have you ever seen the movie The Interview? The Interview.
Mm-mm.
Oh, my God. It's so funny. I think that's what it's called. No, it's not The Interview. What is it? James Franco's in it.
You're listening to live coverage
No, it is
of
The Interview.
Pickle trying to look up a
with
movie
Seth Rogen
that
and James Franco. You haven't seen that?
I can't believe you love a James Franco and Seth Rogen movie. I wonder why. What color's your shirt?
Green.
Oh, interesting. Neither here nor there. Okay. Do you ever feel like the news cycle moves too fast?
The news cycle?
Yes.
Yeah.
That there's too much news and we don't spend enough time settling on things, right? Like something that's a huge deal today is forgotten tomorrow, right? That's something that bothers me. I feel like we do not necessarily soak in the news as much. Like we're just like, oh my gosh, like on to the next thing. Like we have this constant appetite to move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I mean, as a consumer, I see your point, but as a journalist, that's a really good problem to have.
I mean, yes, but like I also think that it's a problem of our own creation.
I guess.
I think we have
people have short attention spans.
But I think it's a chicken and egg situation of do they have short attention span? Like, do they naturally have short attention spans, and we are catering to them, or did we increased the speed of the news cycle, which allowed them to have shorter news attention spans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Chicken and egg. I think there's a reachable conversation with that. All that's to say, why are we not talking about the biggest news of perhaps American history that came down yesterday?
Okay.
Yesterday, or maybe the day before, maybe it was Wednesday. I don't know. You know, we had congressional hearings where we basically admitted that we have alien bodies?
Oh, yeah, no, I did not see that.
Yeah.
I must have missed that.
There was a congressional hearing on what they're calling UAPs, right? Unknown anomalous phenomenon, right? Unidentified anomalous phenomenon, which is basically UFOs. Now,
right.
The reason they use UAPs is A, because the government doesn't want you Googling UFOs, and B, because they use anomalous because instead of aerial, because they want to refer to things that happen in water as well, right?
Okay.
So there was a hearing before Congress where these people are under oath, okay? So if they're lying to Congress, that's a federal crime that you go to prison for.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's not even jail. That's like prison.
There was one guy in particular, retired Major David Grush, who went from being part of the Pentagon's UAP task force to becoming a whistleblower. Told the House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee that he had been denied access to some UFO programs, but he knows the exact location of UAPs in U.S. possession, including Grush also alleged that the U.S. has retrieved, quote, non-human biological matter from the pilots of the crafts, adding, quote, this was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the UAP program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
So realistically,
how is this not the headline on every, like the front page of every newspaper in the world? United States government admits to having aliens.
Is it because he doesn't have any actual substantial proof of it? Like he says he does, but it's all talking. It still should be on the head of the news thing. I'm just asking, do you think that plays a factor? This is a
government official.
Yeah.
In front of Congress saying, yeah, we've got aliens. Like, we got them. We know they exist.
I mean, maybe I just always thought aliens exist.
I just think, like, yeah, but it's always been like this. No, of course not. Now, the government is coming out and saying, like, yep. Or people within the government are saying, yep, we got them.
Well, can we see them?
Under oath. That is, again, I think, one of those things that, like, should be the biggest story of the year. Like, we have aliens. We know it. We've been told that in front of Congress, under oath, by a guy who worked in the Pentagon.
Seems reliable.
I'm just saying we have to make sure that we are understanding the news that's going on. Like, let's not move on to the next thing. Like, I know Colorado going to the Big 12 is a big deal, but having aliens is a bigger deal.
I was just going to say, my news cycle was a lot more full of Oppenheimer and Barbie being in the premiere than it is of the U.S. government realistically recognizing the fact or admitting the fact that they have aliens in the Pentagon or somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is Barbie summer. We love it, right? But
maybe the aliens are Barbie girls. They want to. That's their goal in life, is to come invade Earth and turn into a Barbie girl.
Let me just offer this to our extraterrestrial friends.
You can come be on TFT whenever you want.
The seat is open. Open invitation to our extraterrestrial friends for an exclusive interview. We'll give you as much time as you need. We don't got commercial breaks. Oh, we have some, but
no. This is a free podcast.
There you go.
We can go as long as we want.
You're welcome. Right here.
That'd be pretty cool.
That's a big story that I don't think enough people are talking about because it's like the biggest story.
Texas aliens today. Coming to a podcast vendor of your choice soon.
Hit the theme expo. Pickle! Hit the air sign. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it's Texas Football Today, a program on the internet. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football magazine, TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live, TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all the places, or also the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part. Support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is the Duchess of the Dorks. She's Ashley Pickle.
Hi, friends. How are you?
I'm
Friday.
Great. It is Friday. Where's your longboard?
We don't need to bring that to the air. It's not with me currently. I'm trying to get it back.
Today is Friday.
Friday.
July 28th, 2023. It's 118 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to... I should have looked this up before the show, which is kind of a theme of this show.
Texas Football Today.
I should
have looked this up before.
You know
the
what?
show.
Happy birthday to Soulja Boy.
Let's go.
Soulja Boy.
What's your favorite Soulja Boy song?
Turns 33. I mean, probably Turn My Swag On.
Hop up out the bed. There was one time, fun fact, quick sidebar.
Mm-hmm.
Colin ISO here.
Mm-hmm.
My good buddy Kyle Yeomans and I did quite a few handfuls of North Texas basketball games this year. He was on play-by-play and I was on color. And there was a Soulja Boy song that came on, and it was actual Soulja Boy, so the dance starts happening.
Yeah, crank that.
Yeah, and I was concerned there for a second that the youth are starting not to recognize the greatness of that song. But there was a little girl who proved me wrong, and she was doing the dance when the song came on. So we come back from from break, and the bump is her doing the dance. And so I mentioned that I was really glad that the youth are still appreciating the greatness of Soulja Boy. So from that point on, we played the little broadcaster game of we looked up, like we had our phone open with all the Soulja Boy songs and tried to see how many of the titles we could incorporate into the broadcast. There were some of them that absolutely could not go to air for reasons I'm sure you can assume. But
like Kiss Me Through the Phone.
That was the big one. Just raunchy, vulgar, can't be doing that. But I think we got to like 9 or 10 of them.
Wow.
It was pretty impressive.
Good for you.
Yeah, big Soulja Boy girl.
Episode 1623. On today's show, folks, we're going to hear from Frisco Panther Creek head coach Clint Surratt coming off of their, I would say, rather impressive inaugural season there at Panther Creek. We'll hear what he's got cooking there in year 2. And back half of the show is Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday. We're answering your questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, all the things. Okay, before we go on, speaking of Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday, which is on the lower third here.
Yes.
When the season rolls around, I want to tell you that we're going to have a change to Mailbag Friday. Okay? We're going to have you pre-submit questions via social media. We'll do it on Instagram and we'll do it on Twitter. Right? For now, is that what we're going to do?
I thought we were doing it on TexasFootball.com.
We'll do it on TexasFootball.com. You're going to submit your questions on TexasFootball.com. We will go through them. We will pick the right of however amount of time we have. We'll have those number of questions. So you'll be pre-submitting them on like Wednesday or Thursday is going to be. We're going to have like a Thursday at noon deadline to turn in your questions for Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday. That just allows us to sift through them to really get to the ones that we feel like we can talk about at length, things like that. So it doesn't turn into like tell me about this game question, tell me about this game, stuff like that. We still want you to ask those questions, but like we want to have a little bit of editorial control instead of being at the mercy of which questions come in when.
We also want to make sure we're covering the entire state. We don't want to talk about the same teams that we love all of our loyal viewers, but you all have teams that you're very loyal to, and sometimes we need to spice it up and get other sides of the state that we don't necessarily talk about as much.
Absolutely. So that is going to be a change to Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday coming up here during the season. But don't worry, today it's the same. Get your questions in on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll answer as many as we can at the back half of the show, going up till 12:30. When I have to go speak at my high school.
What?
There's a journalism boot camp for the student newspaper there, and they asked me to come and talk. Did
their first option and second option say no?
And third.
Oh, man. Okay, that makes sense.
And then, because Shahan J. Raj is not available.
Yeah.
Anyway. While we were at THSC at coaching. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we first open the door? My bad.
Come on. Get it. See, this is why you're fourth.
Exactly right.
It was Paul Roberts, Zill0678, Ed McElroy, and Aaron R. Buckle. Welcome in, fellas.
Paul Roberts, whose football opinions you can trust. All right, while we were at THSCA Coaching School and Convention, we caught up with dozens and dozens of coaches, one of them the head coach of the Frisco Panther Creek Panthers. That's right, they're the Panther Creek Panthers, because why
have
not?
creativity?
Here's our conversation with head coach Clint Surratt here on Texas Football Today.
Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, back here at the Texas High School Coaches Association and Convention in Houston, Texas, here with the head coach of the Frisco Panther Creek Panthers, Coach Clint Surratt. And, Coach, appreciate you taking a few minutes to chat with us today.
I appreciate your time today.
All right, Coach, first of all, let's talk about the convention a little bit. It's a day 2 of the convention, and it's as busy as ever. Tons of vendors. The Dave Campbell's booth here is rocking and rolling. We got a lot going on. Every year, this thing seems to get bigger and bigger, and it's just a lot of fun to be down here, and kind of the kickoff for football season.
Yeah, I look forward to it every year. This is my 23rd year, and so getting a chance to come down here with our staff. Obviously, all of our football staff is here, getting the opportunity to hear a lineup of great speakers, and, of course, the vendors, and really get to see coaches' buddies from all over the state and just to get a chance to network and visit, and it's always a great time.
And you got your notepad out. You're taking
That's
notes
right.
and taking a few nuggets here and there from guys.
Yeah, for sure. There's
a lot of great speakers, right?
A lot of really talented coaches here at this convention. And Kendall Browse, listened to him earlier, and just the lineup that the Texas High School Coaches Association has put together is second to none.
And it's not just football, right? I feel like the growth of the convention really because of the other sports, how they've been embraced. You know, the girls' sports are welcome here. They have a lot of great events for the volleyball, girls' basketball, boys' basketball, track and field. As a campus coordinator, you want to have an all-around great athletic program,
It's
right?
been so inclusive, and what they've done and really transformed this convention over the last 5 to 10 years has been incredible. And I just heard our golf coach, he just gave a lecture in there and did a phenomenal job. And just with the on-site demos, with volleyball going on, basketball, and all the things that they're doing to pull people in, it's going in the right direction. So we're happy.
Now, speaking of going in the right direction, that's a segue right there.
Yeah, there you go.
The Panther Creek Panthers, I think the arrow is pointed up for you guys in 2023. We were talking off camera last year, first-year program. None of those guys had played very few of those guys had played a down of varsity football at any level. They were very young, a lot of freshmen, sophomores playing. And you could tell early in the year, there was they were a little timid, I think, and just trying to figure out. And I'm not sure they felt like they belonged. Yeah. Things started to turn around towards the end of the year, and I feel like in 7-on-7 watching you guys, and I know people say, oh, it's just 7-on-7 step. What are you talking about? Yeah. But the mentality your kids had in 7-on-7, they walked out there and number one, they looked better. They could tell they've matured physically, but mentally they went out there and were expecting to win and had a different mentality. Do you feel like that can carry over to 2023?
Absolutely, and this has been obviously an incredibly exhausting but rewarding experience of opening up a new school and really having people from 4 different schools come into one, and really, as we're talking about, really building that team and learning to depend on each other. And it was awesome to see our kids, the growth from week 1 all the way into the playoffs, and we're super proud of making the playoffs without seniors, first Frisco-ized team to be able to do that. And then obviously, like you said, the arrow's up in a big way. It's a unique situation to have everybody back. And then watch what our kids did this all season and in 7-on-7 and watch them go out and compete with real confidence. And they're really bought in right now, and I'm excited about where we're at.
Do you feel like that was some validation for them? Going out in 7-on-7 and being successful, having success. Hey, this is working. What we're doing is working, and we can take this into the fall and really take it to another level.
Yeah, anytime you can go out and compete and win, even if it's 7-on-7, our kids' confidence continue to grow and grow and grow, and really proud of the way they represented themselves down at College Station, and we wanted to win it all, but ran into a really talented Silsbee team that got us. But certainly proud of the kids and the effort they put in, and the way they care and play for one another is a really cool thing I'm proud of.
Now looking at your district though, your district top to bottom is, and people say, oh, they're with the Dallas ISD schools. Those guys aren't very good. I would say that's a definite falsehood. Those guys.
I'd be careful about that.
Yeah.
I think those guys do a really great job. Carter's going to be formidable for sure. Carter's really talented. They're well coached. Wilmer Hudson's is the same way. I mean, you've got some really good coaches in that district that do a good job.
And we all know Salina. They're the district champs. They're the team to beat. They set the standard last year, so you got to, they're the team to beat, right? Salina is the bar that's been set, and then everybody else is kind of chasing them. And another team I think is going to be very much improved is Ranchview. I think Ranchview is going to be very – so top to bottom, I think your district's going to be pretty competitive. And do you feel like that will prepare you guys? I know your goal is to make a playoff run. Do you think this district is going to prepare your kids if you guys can get into the playoffs for a potential playoff push?
Well, certainly in our district, and even look at our non-district schedule too. We're
playing Emerson.
Emerson, a really talented team. Of course, Arlington Heights had a great year last year. They got a bunch of people coming back, and Aubrey, I think they went 4 rounds deep as well. So that combined with our district schedule, our kids will be battle tested.
Man, who's that guy setting the non-district schedule there?
I'm telling you, yeah. Well, I got the job, and And this time last year, the schedule was already set. And I said, all right, who are we playing? And I said, we're going to have to get ready to play.
This is going to be tough. Yeah, this is going to be tough.
It's going to help us in the long run.
Yeah. And now, because you have everyone back, you have a little unique situation. So from your perspective, not that many guys bring all 22 starters back. So when you look at your team, is it more – are those jobs still kind of – do guys still need to fight for those jobs? Because now there's a lot of competition because you have young guys – who maybe played at the JV level who have matured and grown up, so you can potentially build some depth, right?
Yeah, the competition among each position really makes this team better, and iron sharpens iron, as they say. And so we've had a really great competition battles. Some of them still going on, and they're going to continue to go on all the way up to week 1 in the upcoming season. And so we still got a lot of proving ground in the scrimmages we're going to have. And our freshman team was 8-2. Our JV was very successful as well. So we've got great kids, and that competition's just going to make our team better. So we're excited to see that.
Final question before we get you out of here, Coach. THSCA, a lot of it's about mentorship and helping young coaches get to the next level. For you as a young coach, who are some of the guys that really helped guide you and led you to get to this position today?
Well, my first high school coach was Gary Monty. He's out of the game now, but he was a tremendous influence on me. Gary Childress is another guy. And then John Rouse, who's now working with Symmetry Turf. The guy did an incredible job. Ended up being a superintendent late, but those guys really took me under their wing and helped mentor me into who I am today. And I'm certainly thankful for all the coaches along the way to help me. And it takes a village, as they say, and that goes for coaches as well. And just being able to network and rely on people when things get tough, it's a true fraternity, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Always.
Congrats on success last year in 2022, and good luck in 2023. And we appreciate what you do for student athletes here in the state of Texas.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Coach.
Born and bred in Texas hits a little different, as it should. Texas loves doing business with fellow Texans. VCR Now takes its Texas roots as seriously as its many partnerships with schools and universities around the state. It's also why we're so proud to promote our brand in the pages of the Texas Bible, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and on the airwaves of Texas Football Today. Driven by producing quality broadcast video, state-of-the-art audio, and LED video scoreboards at affordable prices, VCR Now makes sure to listen to your needs in its athletic department before recommending the next best steps. Building great products is our business, and it's our focus on building meaningful, long-term partnerships with our clients that sets us apart. From our 24/7, 365-day help desk, the training lab in our hometown of Red Oak, or our sports marketing business plan that puts money back in the hands of our athletic departments we support, VCR Now is built to last. Reach out to us today at info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW. Again, that's info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW.
The Gambling Gauchos are a Texas Tech podcast serving you money lines, memes, and matador content on Twitter, YouTube, and StakeInThePlains.com.
Well, let's put it this way. They pay me off in tortillas. I'm going to shoot them right in the eye.
If you're looking for more Big 12 sports content from a host who wants ate 25 tacos in 20 minutes and another that can provide a taco bites per minute analytical breakdown of the feed, then Rob and Kyle are the hosts for you. New episodes every Sunday and Thursday on the Republic of Football podcast feed.
There is Clint Surratt, head coach of the Frisco Panther Creek Panthers, coming off of a really successful first season there at Panther Creek and heading into another big year where expectations are pretty high. So we appreciate Clint Surratt's time at THSA Coaching School and Convention. We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football on the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber and pay Pickles' salary. It's TexasFootball.com/subscribe.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
Speaking of paying your salary, Pickle, it's time for Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday.
The North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score on some great deals on award-winning Hondas. Stop by your Helpful Honda dealer today or visit ntxhondadealer.com to learn more.
Did we drop the copy point about the rugged and reliable?
You can go get a rugged and reliable 2023 Honda Ridgeline.
Oh, Ridgeline, that's right.
If you want it.
I always forget which of the terrific Honda cars is the rugged and reliable one, but it's the Ridgeline.
Yeah.
So go check that out. Thank you, North Texas Honda dealers. If you've got questions about high school football, college football, recruiting, lifestyle, romance, travel, get them in the comments, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Yesterday was a big day for a little TFT, or not TFT, but the DCTF crew, ROF crew, because we were out at Lone Star Conference Media Day there in McKinney. Had a great time. It was I got to be the host and the MC, which was fun. Got to talk with them. Bless you. Got to talk with all the players and coaches from the Lone Star Conference. Angelo State is picked to repeat. Central Washington hot on their heels. And the big game is Angelo has to go to Central Washington, which is going to be a probably, in my opinion, I mean, Kingsville, I think, has an opportunity, and maybe Midwestern if they find a quarterback. But it was fun to be out there. We then went live on ROF for about a little more than an hour.
Yeah, hour 15.
Tons of coaches and players, and it was a lot of fun.
It was funny. Man, some of those interviews are funny.
Corey Hogan, Carter Yates, having a great time. So that was fun. Also of note, as we can just toot our own horn here, our own Corey Hogue brought home for the second time the Kirk Hill Award, which is the Lone Star Conference Sports Writer of the Year Award. Our friend Corey Hogue got honored. He got honored in
well-deserved.
2020 and now 2023. Very well-deserved. It was very cool because you and I knew it, but he didn't.
Yeah, he had no idea.
Because I got the script, and then I didn't. I wanted to tell someone, so I just told Pickle. But yeah, it was very cool, and we're gonna try to. I believe Mallory got reaction video.
Yeah, she did. It's really, really cool.
So we're gonna try to splice something together. But yeah, he's very well deserving. It was awesome to see, and he got the Kirk Hill Award from the Lone Star Conference. We appreciate the Lone Star Conference having us out there. Commissioner Jay Perner, their Director of Communications, Greg Weghorst, all those fine folks out there at the Lone Star Conference. Should be a fun year. And remember, they've got Sol roster in next year. So it's only getting more Texan-y out there. So anyway, we appreciate them letting us crash their party at McKinney ISD Stadium, which is, by the way, you know why they have it in McKinney ISD Stadium?
Because it rules?
Well, yes. Also,
I thought that was enough of a reason.
Correct. It would be, but also what makes it rule extra hard is they host the Division II National Championship game.
Yes.
And they're going to host it, I believe, through 2025 now. It'll be here this year and next year at least. And so, we should, and I guess 2025 as well. So
if you haven't been out to a game at McKinney ISD, you got to get out there because it's just it really is a really good experience.
They had a really good last year. I believe it was Ferris State against Colorado School of Mines. And they had a really big crowd. I was talking with Mike Fetchy, who's the athletic director there athletic director in charge of facilities there at McKinney ISD. And he was talking about, I think his son plays for Mines. And so he was like, everyone was saying, hey, you need to go be a dad. Go get a ticket and go sit in the stands and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. He's like, and then, whenever the two teams qualified, he was like, suddenly tickets became really hard to come by. He's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll just use my power to get in.
I guess I'll just pull my keys out and open every single door of this stadium.
Yeah. But the Division II National Championship coming there December 16th, and hopefully there's a team from the Lone Star Conference there. Maybe Angelo.
We would love to see
Central Washington. Maybe A&M Kingsville. We'd love to see him. Anyway, do we have any questions on Helpful Honda Mailbag questions?
We
Friday.
Sure
Helpful Honda Mailbag questions. Love it.
We're doing great. What's happened to Cedar Park? They used to be at the top of the heap, but you don't hear about them anymore. I mean, a lot of people forget, I think, but they were in the state championship in 2020.
They were in the state championship in 2020.
It did not go their way. I'm not saying that, but I think that everyone thinks of Cedar Park as the heydays back in the early aughts, kind of mid tens, and it's like they did make a run there when Carl Absek was there.
They're in a state championship game 3 years ago. Now last year was
it's hard to remember because it was 2020.
Right, exactly.
And it was in January.
It was like one of these days. We just need to do hey, remember 2020? Here's just what happened.
Yeah,
because I think we all memory hold it. You know what I mean? We're all just no.
Technically, they played the championship game in 2021 because they played it January of 2021.
So they played for a title game, and here's the bottom line of it: the last couple of years, I think that I think the biggest thing is that they have not been able to get themselves going offensively. You remember how good that offense was for them in 2020.
Yeah, it was young Absek. He was the quarterback.
No. They had another one. Surratt Park quarterback.
Yeah, his son.
I don't think it was. Ryder Hernandez.
Ryder Hernandez. Oh, his son was the receiver.
His son was receiver. Yeah, his son was like their really good receiver.
Yeah.
But Ryder Hernandez was their quarterback.
Yes.
And really talented. He really led the way for them all the way to that state championship game. Carl Absek leaves to go to Barbers Hill. They promote Michael Quintero, and the offense just has not been able to live up to its what it's been in the past. They've gone 7-6 and then 4-7 this past year. The other thing about them is I do think if you go back from time immemorial, Cedar Park has been the team that has had the Black Rain defense, right? They've been the defense that has crushed you. I think, look, all it takes is one or two years to put it. Their defense was good last year, but I think that was their identity, and right now I think they're kind of in a little bit of an identity crisis. I think Cedar Park is probably the. Well, okay. There's another thing that we have to. There's another elephant in the room, right? The other elephant in the room here is that they're in a brutal district. Okay, they're in the same district as College Station, Georgetown, A&M Consolidated, and then Leander Glenn, Pflugerville Hendrickson, right, who have all been good at times.
Yeah,
as
it's that one crossover between the Brazos Valley and Austin area.
And so they're in a tough district, and that's part of it as well. I mean, they're dealing with right now. We have them 4th in the district to start the year.
Yeah, College Station has been in multiple state championships the past 2 years.
Now, I think this year they have an opportunity to maybe surprise some people. But let's put this to you this way, okay? So last year they finished 4th in district. Okay. Your reward for finishing 4th in district, they played Smithson Valley in the first round. They got fed to Smithson Valley. They had to go to Smithson Valley, and they got beat by 3 touchdowns.
Well, and let's think about
part of it's the draw as well.
Think about when they were really good back in the day. They were one of the only schools out in that area. Think about that area and how many new schools have popped up. I mean, even Glenn is a fairly new program, So inevitably, you see kind of that. Same thing happened with Manville and Shadow Creek. Someone opens, the feeder school starts they break it up. That is, I think, a portion of
certainly
the difference between old school Cedar Park when they were in their heyday and today. There's just a ton more schools out there.
I think there is.
And it's continuing to grow.
Absolutely. And so I would say that it's a variety of different things. I think it's a coaching change. I think it's a bit of an identity crisis. And then it's also just a really tough draw. And the demographics are changing. Yep. There, that people are moving. People are moving in. They're building more schools, and that's moving kids around. So, I mean, Cedar Park has been. You're exactly right. They've been off the radar the past couple of years. This year, I think hopefully realignment's a little bit for them. Hopefully realignment will be a little bit kinder to them. What's next, Pickle?
Well, that feeds into another question that we got. With realignment coming up, will there be more schools moving up or moving down overall in classifications across the state? I mean,
it should be an equal number. Theoretically.
Yeah.
Because they like to. For those who don't know, they like to keep roughly the same number in each classification. They like to have about 100 teams in each division, and they like to have about 250 teams in 6A,
which is how they set the cutoff numbers.
Yeah. Now that moves because if you have let's just say the cutoff number, I'll pick a number at random. Let's say the cutoff number for 6A is 2,200. Okay, I'm picking a number at random, and you have 6 teams that are all at 2,200 exactly. Then it's and plus you have teams that opt up and things like that. So it should be about the same. Now, there is a great piece on TexasFootball.com that Matt Sepp put out there about teams that right now look like they're going to be moving up or moving down.
Yeah, there's some ebbs and flows.
We've also mentioned a couple of teams in our first couple of preview episodes of Tep and Step, which are on TexasFootball.com as well, or your podcast vendor for subscribers, that they are that will be moving up and down in the next realignment as well. There should be. That's how they start. They start with we need X number of teams in each of these, and then they mess with the margins a little bit to try to make it fit as best they can. But I think you're gonna. I'll say this: there are a couple teams that I think people are going to be surprised are moving down.
Yeah. Well, and there's always the I don't know what the best phrase to use here is, but there are always the teams that were sitting there and who are always teetering on the edge between the two.
Well, you're exactly right, and there's a couple of things here.
Mm-hmm.
There's always teams that are on the edge, right? There's always edge cases that like are
like
they,
the
will
historic
they, won't they,
every single
will they,
year.
won't they? Like Highland Park forever was the edge case, right? They are now pretty comfortably 6A as far as I can tell.
Alito is another. It's like has
was
taken Highland
kind
Park's spot
kind
of
of
like
that, they were kind of that edge case, right?
Yep.
Are they going to go up? Are they going to go down? Also, and another phenomenon you run into at this time of year, especially in the second year of an alignment. So think back to like 2021. Okay, you also run into teams that are playing with numbers that would put them into a higher classification,
but they're not technically
but realignment
a UIL.
doesn't come around until next year. Right. So my example would be Katy Pato in 2021. Katy Pato was playing in the 5A Division I state championship game
with 6A numbers,
and they had already and not just 6A numbers,
like 6A D1 numbers.
Oh yeah. I mean, they have an enrollment right now so the enrollment number they turned in on Snapshot Day in October before their state championship game in 5A Division I was 3169.
Oh my God.
That is like 40 fewer kids than Katy High.
Yeah.
Like, so that is an enormous school. So you do have those phenomenons there. I'll give you one for free.
Okay.
Although I hope you'll go and subscribe to texasfootball.com/subscribe so you get Tep and Step. I'll give you one for free that's like that. New Home.
Yes.
New Home is going to be, they're moving up next time. That's not, like, it's locked and loaded. It's happening. But because of the realignment cycle, they're on that in-between where they're going to be playing with big numbers for 2A Division II. But, because realignment doesn't come about till February for the 2024 season, you do have these things. I want to say, was College Station one of those as well? I know that, like, Franklin was one of them. Because Franklin moved up. China Spring moved up as well. So those were programs that were playing with bigger numbers. That's not why they won. They're obviously really good teams. But that's something to keep an eye on as realignment rolls in.
Yeah. China Spring has the backing of they went and did it again.
Right. Franklin, too.
Yep,
Franklin,
exactly.
too. They both moved up a division and won a state championship. So what are you going to say?
This is another question.
Alito's the same way.
Yep. This is another question, but it fits into that. Is how many new schools will be included in realignment as of right now?
I need to check.
That is
a number that I can find that I do not have. Right now.
Well, and the other thing about that is there is a difference between new schools that will be playing like an independent schedule and new schools that have been playing for 2 years and now are officially going to be added into a district.
Yeah.
Like Lake Belton went through that.
Yeah. Like, I know Prosper Walnut Grove is joining, right?
Frisco is starting a new school, or is that next year? I think it might be next year.
Know.
I think they're adding their 14th school next year.
And then there's always, and then this is way in the weeds and you don't care, but you've also got these programs that have kind of gone to like outlaw schedules because they don't have numbers. Ranger's a good example.
Yep.
Ranger was a team that they were put into an 11. They have 11-man numbers, but they because I think they have an enrollment like 108. But they wanted to play outlaws. They were like, we don't have 11. Like, we can't field an 11-man team, and so we're going to drop out and do that. So that's also another team another kind of program that you need to keep an eye on there when realignment rolls around. I can get that number for you. I just don't have it now.
Every time that we talk about stuff like this, it's just a reminder of I cannot imagine being in the UIL, like I'm going to call it the war room, when they're trying to start from scratch and decipher all of this. And especially because the thing that we always forget about is we focus so much on football. Like, they've got to do this for every sport. And there are two different times that they have to do this, one for football and one for everybody else. That's just crazy.
It's nuts.
I got two more here.
Okay.
You get to add one Texas high school football-related person to Mount Rushmore. Who and why? There's two people. Either Craig Way or Matt Stepp. Those are the two.
Wait. Repeat the question to me.
You get to add one Texas high school football-related person to Mount Rushmore. Who and why?
Oh, no. It's Earl Campbell.
Yeah. When I hear related person, I think, like, not from a football perspective, like someone who is associated with Texas high school football. Like, obviously, I'm not going to put – sorry to Craig and Step. I'm not going to put them on against Earl Campbell. But when I hear football-related, I think of people that are not football players. Maybe they did play.
But then what about, like, Phil Danaher?
Yeah, that's another good one.
Or what about, like, Scott Surratt?
But he is in Texas high school. I still consider related. Related goes to, like, media or, like – I don't know,
Mr.
like Dr.
Phil.
Brightup.
Mr. Phil. I know. Didn't that break? If you didn't hear, what's his Phil? I don't know. I've only known him as Mr.
Phil. It starts with a W.
Phil Whitfield.
Whitfield, I think.
Is that right? He was the guy who ran he did a lot of things, but he was the man who ran the AT&T Stadium press box.
Yeah, his full-time job at AT&T Stadium was like the art director.
Yeah.
Obviously, Charlotte Jones was the one that like implemented all the art, but Mr. Phil was the one that was like the head art person.
Yeah, he passed away. I think it came out Wednesday. I think we got the news yesterday, but I think he passed away on Wednesday. And but at 62, it would like. We were all just terribly sad about that. Anyway, but you can put Mr. Phil on the
we're praying for Mr. Phil's family. He was just a great. It's not going to be the same without him.
All right, player. Here's I'll give you three answers.
Yeah,
player, coach, Phil Danaher.
Related.
Or maybe Gordon Wood actually. Probably Gordon Wood. Adjacent.
I think it's got to be, well.
I don't know. Like an adjacent person.
I think Craig and Step are the two
Mallory.
that easy. Yes.
Mallory Hartley.
Correct.
All right, one more.
What would you bring to the aliens to let them know that you're friendly?
Copy of the 2023 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. They wouldn't understand any of that.
They would spit in your face. Ranch.
To let them
I would just hand it to them, and they would look like, what is this? And I would literally look the aliens dead in the eye, and I would say, trust me.
No. You can't just bring them ranch.
Yes.
No.
Well, something with ranch.
Thank you. You have to bring them ranch, and then you also have to bring them some tendies.
Correct.
I think that's the move. You
yeah.
have to bring them
Wings. Wings would be good.
Wings
with ranch.
Wings
I would bring them Wingstop, because Wingstop has the best ranch. Okay. I would bring them Wingstop. Just a normal wing, bone in, because they need to know that, like,
we're animals.
We're animals. We get it. And then just a big old tub of ranch.
Yeah, but I don't love the idea of giving them the idea of gnawing meat off of something's bones.
That's fine, but it's again, we're focusing on the ranch here.
Okay, got it. So what you're looking for is a ranch delivery system.
Yes. I would be friends with the aliens. The aliens would consider me one of their own.
You are wearing green.
A ranch.
And you do live in a void.
I am the aliens. Whoever got up on that stand yesterday blew my cover. I'd been doing good for 26 years.
That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Clint Surratt, the head coach of Frisco Panther Creek, for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please meet your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you Monday on Texas Football Today.